Good morning, everyone. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Numbers 27. The first paragraph is verse 1 to 11. Is it a, and then verse 12 to the end is the second paragraph. The first paragraph. Then came the daughters of Seleucus, the son of Heber, the son of Gilead, the son of Machi, the son of Elisha from the families of Elisha, the son of Joseph, and these were the names of his daughters: Laura, Holkeda, Hilkah, and Tirza. And they stood before Moses, before Eleazar the priest, before the leaders of all the congregation of the doorway of the tabernacle of the meeting, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not in the company of those who gathered together against the Lord, in company with Korah, but he died in his own sin, and he had no son. Why should the name of our father be removed from among his family? Because he had no son. Give us a protection among our father's brothers. So here's come a case before Moses. Verse 1. He actually he died in the wilderness and cannot go into the Canaan. But the daughters of Zelophehad, because he only have daughters but no son, and come before Moses. And she said, because our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of those who gathered together against the Lord, in the company of Korah. He did rebel to Moses and Aaron, and he was died because he was old. Because he was died in the wilderness, he didn't rebel, and he did join the company of Korah. So his daughters came to Moses and speak to Moses, because at that time daughters don't have any possessions, and she brings this case before Moses. And for that time, actually all the leaders were there, and those daughters, they also gave a solution for Moses. She said that instead the uncles also have to give out the protection. So from verse 5, so Moses brought their case before the Lord, because this is the first time have daughters bring this case before Moses. So Moses actually also don't know how to deal with it, and Moses brought these cases before the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak what is right, You shall surely give them a possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, if a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. If he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. So, in the law side, he also thought that, oh, their daughters speak is right. So for the one who don't have brothers, actually the protection is to give to the daughters. So the possession should not to give to another tribe, but should give someone that is the relative closer to him. Then this becomes a protection. How come here said the Lord said the daughters of Zelahisa speak what is right? You shall surely give them a protection of inheritance among their father's brothers. According to the Israelites, the rules, for someone died, actually the um, the one who dies brother should um, get married with the wife and let them have the protection. So for here, we know that actually no one um, get married with the Salahizard wife. That means that maybe his brothers didn't do what they have to do. Or maybe because actually Salahizard actually is not young already. Because I think the daughters of Salahizard should be uh, old enough. So no brothers can do this to fulfill the law. Actually, the father's brother should have the duty to get married with Salahir's wife and let them have a son. But maybe because the Salahiz's wife actually is old already and have no ability to bear any son. So their doctors come out and say that is it possible if the possessions can leave for them? Of course, the daughters of Kilohisa actually they think that it is very important to have a possession in the canon. When Joseph died in the when Joseph died, but before he died, he also said that you must bring my ashes to the to the canon. This is Joseph. So for the daughters of Jehoshaphat, they are also um, descendants of Joseph. So they think that also my father also can go into the land of the promised land. So they think that have a protection is very important. So for their heart, actually, the Lord is was free. Why they desire the protection? Because they believe in God. Because they believe that is the promise of God. And they wanted to get into the promised land. So for today, we never see the heaven. We don't know the heaven. What's the heaven is it? But we should have the faith also that we want to get into the heaven in the future. So here is that the daughters of Zerahemnah speak what is right. We shall surely give them the protection of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their fathers to pass to them. So this is the word from God, because God also thinks that what she said is right. So for what she suggests, God also have a statute of judgment. And these laws become an eternal law in Israelites among them. And actually for those daughters, actually they are wise and they are full of faith. So in the Bible, if we have the faith, actually the blessings also will come on among them. Even they are female, but because they also have the same faith, God also blesses them in the same way. Verse 12. Now the Lord said to Moses, go up into his mount Abraham, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have sinned, you also shall be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother was gathered. For in the wilderness of sin, during the trip of the congregation, you rebelled against my command to have me at the waters before his eyes. These are the waters of Meribah and Canaan in the wilderness of sin. So here, the Lord said to Moses, go up the Mount Abraham and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. The Lord said to Moses, why that the Lord told Moses how to go up the mountain at this time? Because actually Israelites at that time they are standing before the river of Jordan, and then before the Jericho. And for in the wilderness of sin, because during the trip of the congregation, he rebelled against the Lord. That means that Moses also cannot go through it. And Lord also don't want to leave Moses at the east of the river of Jordan. So the Lord think that it is the time for Lord to bring Moses to the heaven. For Moses, 80 years old, see the fire in the bush, and Moses bring all the Israelites to leave Egypt. This is a plan of Moses And it becomes at the end, and God and Moses cannot get into the promised land. Actually, the heart of the Lord is also sad. And the Lord said to Moses, "You go up the Mount Abraham. Although you cannot really step into the promised land, but you can see the land on the mount. Just like your brother Aaron also brought them to the mount, and Aaron also today Moses is the same. The Lord brought him to the mount, and just like his brother, and maybe you will think that I think Moses was died in the uh, Nebo, but not Abraham. Actually, Abraham is a mount, but the highest mount is Nebo. So actually, it's the Lord brought Moses to the Mount Abraham and go up to the highest hill. So this is the last trip. Lord brought Moses go up the hill, and this is the only trip the Lord brought Moses. Actually, the Mount Abraham can see the west of the river of Jordan because that is the highest point, and then can see very far, and you can see the whole promised land. So here is some photos of Mount Labor. It's the highest point of the hill. So, so for here, when we go up the hill and see, and this is the haven. If the weather is good, actually we can see very far in this place. For that they still have some more, then we cannot see very clear. But if the weather is good, actually we can see far away and we see the mountains. Those time Moses stand there. The Lord brought him go up the hill, and he can look for the promised land. Today, on the top of the Mount Labor, here is a statue to remembrance Moses. But nowadays, the Mount Labor actually is in the um is in another country in Jordan, but not Israel. And we can see the Israel there, but now it's in the Jordan. So that is what Moses saw. Actually, our God loved Moses much, and God also feels sad on that time. But was the response of Moses? Verse 15, then Moses spoke to the Lord, saying, let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, who may go out before them and go in before them, who may lead them out and bring them in. That the congregation of the Lord may not and like sheep which have no shepherd. So you know that Moses know that he has to leave them, and he also felt the love of God because God had to go the last trip with him. When Moses walked with God at the last day, actually the Lord do the funeral directly with Moses because it's Lord buried Moses by himself. And actually all the Israelites only know that Moses died on that mount, but no one knows where he buried. But for Moses, the Lord buried Moses by himself. So actually, the God really loved Moses. That's why we know that this is the last days of Moses. But what the Moses response, what Moses concerning is about Israelites. He is really a good man because actually the Israelites always rebel to God and rebel him and always to complain. But when he 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 know that he have to die, actually his heart is still concerning about the Israelites because here he asks God to choose a leader to shepherd them. This is the heart of a shepherd. Actually, Moses is the great shepherd of Israelites. Even he have to die soon, but his heart is still among the congregation. He know that he cannot go to the promised land with them. Then he asked God to send a shepherd to shepherd the congregation, to take care of them. I think that is also the heart of all the self-group leaders. We really want to bring our sheep to the Lord to the end because we want to all our self group leaders can be shepherd. And here it says, let the Lord, God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation. How come Moses call God as the God of the spirits of all flesh? The meaning here is represents actually God knows that how the spirit, how everything is all flesh. Every people is different, but God knows them. So God, God, you knows everyone. You knows how's our heart. So God, you choose the most suitable one to be the leader, to lead the congregation. For Moses, he don't know who can choose to lead, because Moses is the one, the most humble. But because Moses lead, the who can lead the congregation, who can take care of the Israelites, because the Israelites actually it's not easy to lead them, because they always complain and rebel. So that's why Moses actually worry about them. He don't know who can lead the Israelites. Actually, only God knows who is the suitable one. So he said that the God of the spirits of all flesh, may you set a man over the congregation. May you choose one to lead the Israelites. Moses just worry if they don't have a shepherd, then maybe they will scatter. And verse 18, and the Lord said to Moses, take Joshua the son of Nun with you, a man in whom in spirit, and lay your hand on him, set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation, and inaugurate him in their sight. And you shall give some of your authority to him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. He shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before the Lord for him by the judgment of the union. At his word they shall go out, and his word they shall come in. He and all the children of Israel with him, all the congregation. The Lord chosen Joshua the son of Nun. Why he chosen? Because he is the one who is the spirit. Because Joshua is precious, the spirit of God. Because Joshua is the one who is follow Moses. When Moses received the 10 Commandments, Joshua is also down the hill, wait for Moses. So actually Moses desired the presence of God, and he is the one most. So here the Lord said, the Lord chose Joshua. So Lord actually know our heart, and he chose Joshua because his heart, he's really the one beside the presence of God. And here have a ordination of Joshua. Here said, set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation, and inaugurate him in their sight. Inaugurate him, that means to bless him, and to bless him and lay hand on him before the congregation and pray for him. So here actually is ordinated Joshua, and let all the congregation know that this is the um, this is all the will of God. And let all the congregation will follow Joshua and hear from him. We shall stand before Eleazar the priest. We shall inquire before the Lord for him by the judgment of the Urim. At the word they shall go out, and at the word. So Moses had to stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before the Lord for him by the judgment of the Urim. So for Moses, if he have any problem, he should come before Eleazar the priest and by the judgment of the Urim. So Joshua have to lead all the Israelites, the congregation. He also have to cooperate with the Eleazar the priest. So when Joshua want to ask God, and he have to come before the Eleazar the priest and have to get the solution from the judgment of the Urim. So do you know that actually is a little bit different when Moses had to lead the Israelites, just like when Moses faced the cases of the daughters of Zelophehad. Actually, Moses just before the ark, and the Lord spoke to Moses directly. But for Joshua, actually different, because Joshua have to came before Eleazar the priest and get solution. Why that is different? Actually, Moses is different from all the people, because Moses is just like friend of the Lord, and the Lord spoke to Moses directly. And the second thing is that actually Lord leading everyone is different. Joshua is Joshua, Moses was Moses. Although Joshua also loved God, Joshua also will do many miracles. We know that actually after that, Joshua did many miracles just like Moses, even as the sun storm there. But for here, we know that God actually used different people in different ways. So we should also pray for God. God, how you lead me? Because God leads everyone in different ways. But for here also, maybe God also wants to build up Eleazar and to confirm the position of the priest. Because for the time of Moses just like a priest, also like the leader, and he is all the position. But for the time of Joshua, actually God also wants to establish the position of a priest. And the position of the priest is more important in this time. And the position of a priest is more important. So for Joshua, so Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation, and he laid his hands on him and inaugurated him, just as the Lord commanded by the hands of Moses. So here Moses laid his hand on Joshua and blessed him and anointed him. And Moses just did everything the Lord told him. And from today on, Joshua became the new leader, become the leader of Israel. And Joshua had to lead the Israelites to go through the river of Jordan. And it's a new chapter of Israel life.